Hello, you're listening to our 1-hour broadcast in English for listeners in North America, the East Coast. We can also be heard on the internet in WMI, MP3 and AAC Plus formats at www.rri.ro Channel 1. We wish you good reception conditions.
Welcome to this broadcast on Radio Romania International. Radio Newsreel.
Hello, I'm your host today, Tecsun. As usual, we start with the news bulletin, followed by a report on the recommendations of the Venice Commission on Romania's draft constitution. Later in Radio Newsreel, listen to another report on the new regulations proposed by the European Commission regarding organic products. And now here is the news with Diana Vujeu. Welcome the headlines. The US and Europe stand united with regard to the Ukrainian crisis, and Russia stands alone, US President Barack Obama said in Brussels. Wednesday was the last day when political parties and independents in Romania could submit their candidacies to Roman European parliamentary elections scheduled for May the 25th. And the IMF board is analyzing the first two assessments of the precautionary standby agreement signed with Romania last year. The United States and Europe stand united with regard to the Ukrainian crisis, whereas Russia stands alone, US President Barack Obama said in Brussels on Wednesday. President Obama said at the end of the EU-US summit, whose focal points were the crisis in Ukraine and the future transatlantic free trade agreement, that the world is safe and more just when Europe and the US stand together. Obama also said the conclusion of a free trade agreement between the US and the EU might result in an easier granting of licenses for liquefied natural gas exports to Europe, which is extremely important against the current geostrategic background. Belgium is the second leg of a European tour taken by the US President after The Hague, where he attended the Nuclear Security Summit. On that occasion, the European leaders gathered in The Hague reiterated their support for Ukraine's government. Romania might benefit from a repositioning of the NATO forces following the developments in the region, which make it more attractive to espionage, so it should consolidate its counterintelligence component. The statement was made on Wednesday by Romania's President Traian Băsescu on the occasion of the annual assessment of the activity of the Romanian Intelligence Service. Băsescu also said Romania boasts a high-performing intelligence service which has reached all its goals, such as the fight against corruption, the fight against organized crime, the anti-terror fight, and counterintelligence. The head of the Romanian Intelligence Service, George Maier, said that last year the institution he runs sent 9,000 notifications to the relevant authorities on acts of corruption in the administration, the judiciary, and on tax evasion. In Romania, Wednesday was the last day when political parties and independents could submit their candidacies to the Central Electoral Bureau for the Euro parliamentary elections scheduled for May the 25th. Election results can be contested as of March the 28th. Romania will have 32 MPs in the next European Parliament. Opinion polls show that the ruling alliance made up of the Social Democratic Party, the Conservative Party, and the National Union for the Progress of Romania is likely to win the Euro parliamentary elections with about 40% of the Romanians' votes, while their government partners, the Democratic Union of Ethnic Hungarians in Romania, might get between 5 and 7%. The National Liberal Party in opposition might win between 15 and 17% of the votes, followed by the Liberal Democratic Party and the People's Left Party with some 10% each.